what it was. You already know who it is. And y'all tuned in with Priceless Knowledge of Self. And this right here, this ain't nothing but some cosmic insight. And hey, I really wanted to come with all that laughing and playing. You know that fifth house Pisces moon energy that I usually bring to the table. But that ain't for today, man. Nah, this whole little 6-week cycle that we're about to embark on, it's gonna be pretty rough. Matter of fact, I'm telling you now that shit is about to get real. And that's because we're trying to clear out some karma, man. And in doing so, it ain't gonna be quick and it ain't gonna be easy. It's gonna take time and it's gonna take effort. But luckily, you got me. And so with that in mind, we're gonna get right down to business. And in this case, it's serious business. That's because this right here, this a little something about those people that have Saturn and Taurus in their natal chart. And see, before we even go there, if you don't know my style, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to tell you a little bit about Saturn. I'm going to give y'all a quick breakdown of the energy that comes along with it and how it might affect you. Then we're going to talk a little bit about what the sign of Taurus is actually all about. And then we're going to bring it to a culmination. And fortunately for you, you tuned in with one of the coldest closers in the game. So without wasting any more time, let's get it cracking. So, Saturn. Oh, daddy Saturn. This one right here. This is the motherfucking resident disciplinarian and taskmaster of the zodiac. And whenever you're dealing with Saturn, understand that it ain't gonna make shit easy at all. And being the ruler of the 10th house of the zodiac in the sign of Capricorn is going to be all about putting hard work in if you ever want to see results. And it's like that priceless message of Jesus Christ, man. If Jupiter is going to come through and feed you a fish and bless you for a day, then Saturn is going to come through, put you through some shit that teaches you how to fish, and then you'll never be hungry again. Y'all don't hear me though, man. See, when I was young, when I was a child and I thought like a child, I was afraid of Saturn. I didn't understand it. But the more mature that I get and the deeper levels of understanding that I gain, Saturn is slowly but surely becoming one of my favorites. Because, hey man, Saturn is daddy energy. It's going to show you how to get it out the mud. Saturn is pressure. You young motherfuckers these days want to talk about pressure? Nah, you ain't pressure and you ain't seen pressure. Because Saturn is pressure. And pressure gonna do two things. Pressure gonna either bust your pipe or turn a diamond into you. Yeah, y'all don't hear me though, man. And also understand that Saturn rules over time and all of the limitations and all of the usefulness that comes along with it. And through that, it also rules over old age and all the lessons that could teach us. And the sign placement in our chart, this is gonna show where, where we have energy that's connected to feelings of obligation. And it's also going to show where we might have to work a little bit harder to access that energy, but it's there. And once we access it, it's there for good. And it's something that's tangible and real and it's deeply ingrained. And it's going to help you through any tough situation that you deal with. But first, it's going to make you earn it. It's going to make you earn it. Wherever Saturn shows up in our chart, it's going to show where we feel most restricted, where we see obligations, where we see fears. It's going to show where we might be holding ourselves back or where the universe might be slowing us down a little bit so we can catch up on a little karma. And then when we're talking about the house placement of Saturn, this is going to show the areas of life that we feel restricted in and where you have to work harder to see the blessings that are coming to us. And that's just kind of how it is. I have my Saturn in the second house in Sagittarius. Pardon me, y'all. And it used to be rough. But when I started believing that I was worth more, I became worth more. Y'all don't hear me. Y'all don't hear me though, man. And when we're talking about the aspects of Saturn, they're going to show the most direct involvement of other aspects of our life with feelings of responsibility. And also understand that Saturn takes about 28 to 32 years to traverse the whole zodiac and come back to the place where it was at the moment of your birth. And it's at that time where we see that Saturn return. And that's an infamous aspect in astrology. And if you're any way into astrology, you've probably heard of it. And you're probably a little afraid of it. And you should be. But the thing is, when you come out the other side, oh, you just might be a diamond. And then the thing is, there's a whole nother one coming after that. See, I didn't see my first Saturn return. And it was cool. I was there. It's been rough. But I know that I'm better for it. I'm right here with y'all because of that. However, here's another thing. I got another one coming in about a decade or a little bit more than a decade. And that was probably going to be a motherfucker too. But the fact that I made it through the first one, and I see the level of understanding that I've gained, especially with it being in Sagittarius and me seeing the spirituality that's been awakened in me. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So just understand that, man. It ain't all bad. Now, when we're talking about the sign of Taurus, this is the second sign of the zodiac. It rules over the second house. It's ruled by Venus. It lords over the throat. Its symbol is the bull. And its mantra is, I have. And this is definitely fixed earth, y'all. And Taurus energy is all about rewards and what we each place value in. And if Aries is all about the love of the game and the love of competition, oh, Taurus is all about loving what the game can give us. You got to think physical pleasures and material goods and reveling in delicious success. You know, the energy that comes with the Venetian bull is also quite tactile too, man, with the tender, slightly sensual touch. And wherever Taurus shows up in our chart, it's going to seek to bring comfort, and especially that which we derive from surrounding ourselves with the shit that we find pleasing, soothing, and beautiful. This is Venus. And albeit stubborn as it is, you know, Taurus really wants us to have the good life in all its guises. And whether it be that we're given the game or we get it out the mud, it really wants us to really value all the blessings that we possess. And we should. And so, when we're taking Saturn and we're putting Saturn in Taurus, it ain't nothing to be scared of. It's actually a beautiful thing. But the first thing to understand about these folks right here, man, is that, hey, pragmatism is a motherfucking way of life for them, because these are those people that are always thinking about what might happen tomorrow. So with that on their mind, they're always staying ready so they don't have to get ready. And I think that's a very, very undervalued trait in people, man. For real, man. Look, these are those tireless workers, y'all. And that's because they're so motherfucking serious about their shit. And when I say about their shit, I mean literally their material possessions, man. And with this being Taurus, understand that probably means that money is a big motive with them, man. And that's just kind of what it is, man. And with Saturn being involved with that, this placement could also kind of point to somebody who might even care about their material security and how much money they're making a little bit too much. And then what's going to happen with that, man, is, hey, it's going to turn into a point where they might have some kind of greedy obsessions going on or some senseless stinginess. And that ain't going to fly. What's going to happen with that, man, is through time and accountability and persistency, Saturn's going to teach them to look at things from a different way. That's just kind of what it is with that, man. It's going to teach them to look at abundance from a different perspective. And looking at it even deeper than that, please understand that first and foremost, Taurus Saturn people are trying to establish security in their lives from all points of view. So professionally, they're going to always be the type that's willing to put in overtime and do anything that they can that's going to help put them one step further to their goal of achieving stability and then security and maybe even comfort one day potentially. But it ain't going to be easy. Understand that this is Saturn. However, I will say that if there's ever a good place to have Saturn, this is one of them. This is one of them. This is poise personified. This is an unshakable grind right here. Okay? It just takes time. And what it definitely helps out with that is the fact that these right here are some of the absolute most determined people that you're ever going to see once they set their mind on something. And that doesn't just apply to their professional life either. That's in all things. Because they pretty much inherently understand that financial security and overall stability can only be attained through working smart and enduring a lot of bullshit, and always, and I mean always, remaining patient with the way things are advancing in life. And the beautiful thing with all Taurus placements is it's going to instill some patience in there. It's going to give you some patience in there because they ain't worried about nothing moving fast. No. Slow and steady wins the race. Okay? It's like that story that you heard on training day, or that great old myth that we tell back in the country, man, of the two bulls that are sitting up on a hill and they're looking down upon the herd of the cows. And the young bull, he tells the older bull, he says, man, I'm finna run down there and fuck me one of them cows. And the big bull, the old bull, he laughed. The OG, he said, chill out, man. I'm finna walk down there and fuck them all. That's Saturn and Taurus. Oh yeah, man. These people right here, man, they're practical. And when it comes to matters of love, the same shit applies, man. Saturn is going to instill them with an excellent practical sense here too, which means that, 11 times out of 12, these aren't people who are going to be fucking around just for fuck's sake. No, man. They want somebody that they can build with. They want something real. And they also want something that's worth something. That's a big thing with them. Worth. They don't want just another conquest or some horror story skeleton in the closet. But the problem with that is right there is that they get so caught up in the practical shit that they sometimes forget to enjoy themselves a lot of the time. And that ain't fair to either one of the people that are trying to be involved in this relationship. They get so caught up in finance that they tend to forget about romance. They get focused on security and stability that they often lose sight of intimacy and compassion. And it just ends up taking a lot of time and effort to find an appropriate balance somewhere up in there. And hey, man, I'm going to tell you straight off the rip that some of the more sentimental individuals, they're not going to want to stick around for that shit, man. And furthermore, this also could point to somebody who's so fucking hell-bent on a stable marriage that they don't want to cut a toxic motherfucker loose, man. And that stubbornness, it's really in the way. It's really in the way, but they gonna learn. With Saturn, they gonna learn. Best believe. But also understand with Saturn, it's gonna mean the hard way. That means it's gonna be the hard way. But to sum this up, man, this is actually one of the best placements to have Saturn, man. And one of the best things about this, folks, is that they're the ones that you want to call when you're in some shit. Real talk. When you feel like you're in some shit that you can't deal with on your own, this is somebody that you can count on. This is somebody solid, man, because they have an inner steadiness that's kind of unshakable. It's unshakable. But on that same keel, if they're ever kind of finding themselves in a position where they fall into a rut themselves or they get into a depression, you'd have an easier time pulling out your own motherfucking teeth than getting them out of that shit, man. Real talk, man. These motherfuckers right here will wallow. They will wallow. And, hey, man, this is Saturn in Taurus. Hey, man, the stubbornness that goes along with this is legendary, man. And they will make sure to express it in every situation, man. And that's what it is. And, that's on some next level shit too, man. Cause, once they make a decision, it's really nothing. And I mean nothing that will ever change their mind. But hey, even if it don't play out like that, just because you built like that, you don't have to build like that. And what I mean is, we all have all this energy available to us. What you do with it is what you do with it. And even beyond that, it's not about what you do, it's about how you do it. And that's some priceless knowledge in itself. And this has been some priceless knowledge of self. Hey, man, if y'all fool with me on any level, this is the time that you should be hitting that like button, man. For real, man. Because I know I went in, and anything else would be uncivilized. Hey, if you're interested in any astrological readings whatsoever, and I do still have some slots open, man, and I definitely need to make some more money, okay, best believe you can hit me up in the comments below, or you can email me at mr.turner1300 DonRodrigo@gmail.com. And the same thing goes if you want some merchandise, man. But I always want to warn you that you can buy all the merchandise you want and I will sell it to you. But you probably won't never get this because this type of swagger that I got, it's got to be in you and not on you. Let me put it in you.